Hi guys, back on my windowsill. The training is happening across the way at the GAA right now, and me and Ear is back in East Clare after the 6 days in Limerick. Is it really 6 days? Thursday landed in, Friday woke up, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday left. So I guess yeah, we've been there and I look like I'm wearing a hospital gown, but no, afterwards, my lovely friend Maeve, who is a friend of mine from the Irish camps years ago, and she ended up moving to Clare with her daughter Neve, who ended up being one of Malachi's besties. She does aerial and music, and she's a great influence on Malachi. She's a year older, and yeah, Maeve wanted to go a bit shopping, and Maeve has an electric car, so it was good fun to go around Limerick with her while her car was being charged. And went to Dunn's, and I felt like black is too heavy and dark at the moment. White is still a bit of a shocker, but got some. I hate buying new cotton, and I don't generally do it unless it's organic. At least it's more ecologically sustainable to produce. Conventional cotton takes a lot of pesticides and a lot of water. But yeah, there I was getting a €3 shirt at Dunn's, and I'm really happy to be back. There's a lot of cleaning to be done because when I left, it was just such a, me and my two boys and doing stuff. And I had the infection going really heavy and strong. I'm gonna try to keep up the schedule that the hospital had me on of taking some medicine 3 times a day, spacing that out with 8 hours in between each, and some other medicines twice a day, which means 12 hours in between, which means like 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., that kind of thing. And so I made little schedules for myself, and also I like the meal times, and they were very much mindful because we were just if we talked, and until the later days there was the TV wasn't even on. So yeah, it's amazing. And what I did reflect on, I didn't really reflect on it because I was just in it, but when I went through the corridors and there was me, limping around with my hair up looking, to me just like really ugly and with this kind of crusted ear. You couldn't see it because under a snow pile of cream, and it went onto my cheeks. So it was like, okay, this is my disfigurement, and with this gown on, I was billowing out. And I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. I was just like feeling like, not that ugliness is bad, but just, I already had been questioning what beauty was. And I thought, this year, another mark of beauty, age, what is the perfect age? And when are you acceptable and beautiful and when aren't you? I'm going to be 50 in August. And when I was 25, half that age, I had been in a gathering festival kind of a environment where all my friends helped to cut off all my hair. And I realized when I came up to 50, I had always said when I was 25, this is so great. I want to do this again every 25 years. I realized, you know what? When I was 25, I was in an environment where my heart was so open. I was living under the stars. Now, 25 years later, I'm living in a house. I lament the kind of the loss of my children, like in a straightforward kind of way, arrangement wise. There's lots of things. And so I don't know if I'm going to do that, but it's not important. It's more the concept behind it, which is like, it was very simple when I was 25. It was just like starting all over again in a symbolic way with the hair. Hair is power, right? Ego and all this baggage also gets caught up in one's hair. So, yeah, at 49, I was thinking about it and I thought, yeah, it's funny, even though I don't have the most ravishing hair, I am blessed to have this natural black, quite thick, plentiful hair. And I thought, yeah, and it does actually create an illusion that I'm very physically attractive. And it doesn't seem to take up a lot of my headspace. I don't like sit there thinking I'm a physically attractive person, as I go about my day. But I realize, but actually, there are a lot of givens, a lot of in my internal psychology of like, yeah, if I shave off all my hair, then I will feel very exposed. I will feel the stares of people. I will feel the judgments that other people make internally. And if they say something to me, it will be like an echo bouncing around the walls of my mind. mingling with my own emotional judgment. So it's just really interesting how this all is. One of the things is I wanted to keep up this routine that I had in the hospital, because it's easy, and I mean, it was easy then to keep it up, and it's something nice, I think, for a human to have regular routines if we're living in some kind of a regular domesticated life. I'm not traveling or adventuring at the moment, so I am having a regular life. And yeah, I have to clean up some things in the house as well. Want to make it as easy as it was when I was in the hospital. What I was starting to say was that as I looked at myself from the inside, because we didn't have any mirrors except in the bathroom, I felt like, especially when I went down to the different departments out in the corridors, you'd see all sorts of people with different body shapes and disfigurements, quite frankly, in different states of disability and, all sorts of conditions going on. Like, even in our own room, there was such a huge difference in all the different conditions people were, from like blood disorders to cancer hanging out in the background to like extreme weight lacking, veins not working properly, all sorts of things. I can hear them going on there. And feeling like, yeah, I'm just one of the gang. I'm just like me, little misfit with my own little, affliction. This ear that bestows oral abilities, so I can hear beauty and I can hear ugliness. I can hear good and I can hear bad. And it also bestows this sense of balance as well. The inner ear gives you this balance in the world, your spatial orientation in that way. And I didn't, thank God, didn't feel this disorientation physically, but it could have gone to that if my inner ear got affected, So just being a part of a community of people that looked like we were in some way broken or had, these disabilities, it's kind of like to wear it on the outside, and it's amazing then all these doctors and registrars and nurses and interns, and looking at them and thinking, wow, they actually, oh, it was only after a couple of days that I, because they all different teams look at each of us. Like, I would have my own team of guys, the other bed would have her own team of people, and thinking they're all fit people with trainers on, and they look like they're 100%. And I thought, wow, it's quite interesting if somebody were to cartoon all of this, how it could look symbolically, how interesting it all is. I almost felt like, not quite like the ugly duckling, but on leaving, when I took a shower this morning and my hair was down, it felt almost like I feel like I'm betraying who I've been for the past 6 days. It felt suddenly like, oh, with your hair down, you are suddenly one of them. You're a beautiful person. You look acceptable and, in proportion, and you don't seem like one of us anymore. This is my own inner narrative. And yeah, it's just interesting to allow those thoughts and imagination to sound out. So who knows? I'm still recovering. I'll still be on a schedule of taking these very strong, intrusive chemical medicines, and I'll be trying to build up my system as well at the same time. Not so much with probiotics, but with really good whole foods. Okay, better go now. Lots of love and bless you all.